So I wanted to talk about this before I start the official unboxing because this is actually post editing, and I just wanted to say that in the actual unboxing I do keep clarifying all the benefits of Wi-Fi 6, but I never really state how you get the benefits of Wi-Fi 6. But before you comment in the comment section, I do want to say that, of course, I do know to get the full effect of Wi-Fi 6, you really need to have a device that does support Wi-Fi 6. And in my case, I have about 4 different devices right now that I've bought that do support Wi-Fi 6, so I will be able to take advantage of Wi-Fi 6. So without further ado, let's start the unboxing. Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to be unboxing the Asus AX5400 RT AX82U Wi-Fi 6 router, and I am super excited to actually be unboxing this right now for a number of different reasons. I'm not really all too familiar with Wi-Fi routers. I know some stuff here or there, but before I unbox this router, I do actually want to talk about why I bought this router, talk about my previous router, and things like that. So if you don't know, as it sits today, the latest protocol for in-home routers is the Wi-Fi 6 protocol, or other known as AX Wi-Fi. So here it is right here. This is the latest and greatest you can buy. And the nice thing about Wi-Fi 6 is it's supposed to be a little bit more stronger and also a little bit more reliable, and it's supposed to give you better range with a Wi-Fi, because my Wi-Fi router right now in some areas in my house, I actually do have some drop-offs, so I have to use an extender, and with this I shouldn't have to use an extender with this one, just because again it is using that brand new Wi-Fi 6. The main reason I bought this actually is not even a really good reason. The only reason I bought this is because this one was the one that was actually recommended to me at my local store. They had a couple of different options, but this one was the one they told me to go with, considering I do pay for gigabyte internet, so that's why I really need this one. Now this one isn't the most expensive one out there, but it's also not the most cheapest one out there. You can get Wi-Fi 6 routers a little bit cheaper than this. This one sits about $240 to $250 depending on where you buy it and what type of sales are going on. So again, in your area it may vary, but usually around that $250 price point for this router. And this does have some pretty nice features. Of course, this is an Asus router, and since this is an Asus router, you do get some really nice features when it comes to their application. There's a lot of things in place, and yes, I am already aware this router does actually have RGB lights like a gaming computer. I am fully aware of that, but I didn't buy it for that specifically. Again, I bought it because this one was recommended for me for gigabyte internet, and this should be a really nice improvement. And then flipping it around on the back, here's some more specifications about this router. You can see it has an app on the Google Play Store and the Apple App Store. It also has different filters you can put on your internet, like if you want to block certain sites out for like certain family members and things like that. This one is specifically a gaming router, which I don't think that necessarily matters. I think that's just a marketing term to get people to pay for it, just because it says gaming router on it. And then you do have some gaming specific features on here, like a game booster if you play mobile games. I do believe it does try to prioritize mobile gaming if you play a lot of mobile gaming. You can see on the back of the box, this is up to 4 times more network capacity. And the nice thing with Wi-Fi 6, which I didn't even talk about, is the fact that apparently if you have a lot of things on your network, like a lot of client devices, it's supposed to handle them a little bit better with traffic. So if you're a household that has a lot of members, Wi-Fi 6 is going to be really nice. Right now, I probably have about 20 or so devices that connect to the internet at any one given time, so this should really be a big upgrade over what I was using. I was using AC Wi-Fi, and it's funny, right now in 2021, if you look up should you buy Wi-Fi 6 or should you stick with AC or Wi-Fi 5, it's a toss-up. Some people are saying yes, Wi-Fi 6 you should just get because you keep routers so long anyway. It's worth it in the long time since you keep them about 5, 6, 7 years. And then some people are saying no, AC is still fine, and in a lot of situations you won't even notice the difference between Wi-Fi 6 and AC or Wi-Fi 5 technology. Now in my situation, the main reason I want to upgrade is because, again, I get bad signal in certain parts of my house with my old router. And then not just that, I do notice with my old router, for some weird reason, I pay for gig internet or gigabyte internet, and for some reason I'm getting really bad speeds. Like my download speed is just trash. It's literally sitting at like 50 to 80 megabytes. I know for a lot of people that's fast, but considering I'm paying for gig internet, that is just flat out unacceptable. It was still enough to watch stuff on the internet and do most of this activity I wanted to do, but over the last couple of years, the performance of that has just gone down the drain. And that router is about 7 or 8 years old, so it is time for me to get this nice new upgrade. So I'm going to be rocking with this. So let's go ahead and unbox this router. Now again, like I said, they do have cheaper routers on the market, but in my situation, the person at the store recommended this one for the amount of money. They said nothing more and nothing less, so I'm going to take their word for it when it comes to this router. I'm also curious to see how fast YouTube videos are going to upload on this new router. I do know when it comes to a wired connection versus wireless connection, I do know for a factor I'm probably not going to get the 1 gig speed that I'm promised maybe with Wi-Fi, but I shouldn't be getting somewhere around like 40, 50, 60, 70 megabytes down, even with Wi-Fi. I should be getting a lot more, so something is definitely going on with my old router. But here it is again. Here's the box, and here's what you get inside the box. I actually also find it very interesting when it comes to routers, that a lot of routers look like alien spaceships, and they have a lot of antennas, and this one specifically does look like a spaceship, but I know this one's geared towards gamers and it has RGB lights. And yes, from what I'm aware, you can actually customize those RGB lights or turn off the lights completely if you don't want the lights. Okay, it's a box in a box. Here's the box right here. Go ahead and open up this bad boy. You can see it's pretty much telling me everything I need to do to get this set up. Apparently this router is very easy to set up. So here's all the paperwork here, which we're not going to get into. And then you have the router itself. You do get a power supply right here. It's a small brick that just plugs in, which is obviously important and very necessary. It is nice they do give you an internet cable in the box, even though you may already have one laying around just in case you need a spare. So props to Asus for giving us an extra cable in the box. And then here's the router, which the router, from what I'm seeing right here in person, it looks like a fairly big router, to be honest. And then there is some more information. It says stop. So I apologize, my camera actually cut out, but basically what I was saying was, it says stop, do not send this to the store. If you have a problem with it, contact Asus, whatever. And they actually do give you a quick start guide in the box as well, which is really nice and really helpful, of course. And yeah, that's pretty much everything in the box with this router. Now let's actually go ahead and look at the router itself. Like I said again, this router is a very big router, so you will have to find some space to put this. But taking it out of the package, you can see it definitely looks like a spaceship, if I ever seen like a UFO or a spaceship. And there's the 4 antennas on the back. So let's go ahead and take those antennas up. So there they are right there, the antennas. On the front, there's no buttons or anything right there, or any ports. All the ports on this are going to be in the back of the router. And here's all the ports on the back of the router. You have your power supply port right there to plug it into the wall. You do have an on-off switch, and I actually like that on-off switch a lot because my last router that I actually had didn't actually have an on-off switch, so that meant anytime it was acting finicky or acting weird, I would always have to disconnect it from the wall, and I couldn't even pull out the plug from the router because it was a very tight fit. So this is nice anytime there's any hiccuping, or if I just want to cut off the connection, maybe there's someone outside or some weird activity, I can just cut it immediately. And then for the ports, let's go over the ports really quickly. You do have a WAN port which connects to your modem. And then you do have 4 LAN ports, which is really nice. And then you also have one specifically, LAN 1, for gaming specifically, so it'll try to prioritize that LAN port for gaming. So if you have something like a gaming computer or a gaming console and you can go hardwired, definitely plug it into LAN 1 because that's specifically for gaming. And all these ports right here are only gig ports. Keep that in mind. So if you have anything faster than gigabyte internet, unfortunately, all these ports are going to be useless to you if you want faster speeds. But most people should be okay with gig internet. So again, you do have 4 Ethernet ports for gig speeds if you need to go hardwired. And then you do have a reset button on it. You do have a WPS button. This also does support, I think, the latest and greatest when it comes to Wi-Fi security. I think it does say it does support WPA3. So that should be very nice when it comes to security. And then right beside the power button, or the on-off switch, you do have a USB port, which is really nice. It is a USB 3.0 port, and you may be asking, if you don't know about routers, why is there a USB port on the actual router itself? Is it for like maintenance or firmware updates and things like that? Actually, none of that. It's basically allowing you to make this into a network attached storage, if you know what that is. So basically you can plug in like a printer, or the most useful use case for that USB port is going to be plugging in things like hard drives and flash drives. So basically you can access them just like you would access something like the Google Drive or Dropbox or something like that. Which is going to be very nice, and that's something that I'm personally going to use because I am a YouTuber and I do have a lot of files and things that need to be transferred over from different computers and different things, so it's going to be nice. And it's also nice too if your phone or your computer is running low on storage, you can just plug in a big hard drive or a flash drive and pretty much have extra space, which is nice. I can clear my phone and things like that, so that's going to come in handy. And then on the bottom, it has a lot of ventilation. Now I've been looking into this router when it comes to like overheating problems and things like that, and so far I haven't really heard anybody complain about overheating issues or problems with this router. So far this does seem like it is a very good router. Now before I head out of this video, I just really want to say that I am going to be doing a follow-up video about a week later to really test how this thing is doing, how's the performance, anything I may notice in the application and things like that. So I will give a full review about a week later, my experience with this, with using gigabyte internet, of course, since I do have gigabyte internet. So that's really going to be interesting, and hopefully I will be very happy with this over my previous router that's given me very bad signal and also very bad speeds in general. So I'll have to wait and see, and I'll tell you my final verdict. And yes, this is my first time ever using an Asus router. I've owned Linsky's and I've owned Netgear before, but I've never owned Asus. So this is going to be a totally different experience for me, so I'm going to be excited to see if I get those speeds. If I do, I'm going to be literally blown away, because with Wi-Fi, again, I've actually really never seen speed close to 900 or 1 gigabyte when it comes to Wi-Fi. I've seen it on a wire, but I've never seen it on Wi-Fi, and Wi-Fi 6 is supposed to be a pretty good upgrade. Anyway, guys, this is Wayne from My Tech News, signing out.